There's shows for free a week. But if you want to support the channel, there are a few ways of doing it. Hit the like button on each live broadcast or video. This helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button and select the all notifications option. Hit the thanks button to buy a super sticker. You can do this on the live chat too. You can also join our Patreon page or buy us a coffee at the link in all of our video descriptions below. We are also looking for sponsors. If you want our latest advertising rates and how you can get involved, then email John at nufcmatterspodcast1892@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
Hush now, city kids, gather round for urban myths. Hush now, city kids. When it came to me after so long, I didn't have no choices in the streets where I was from. When I think about the pain, I didn't have no choices, I took what I had sworn. Hush now, city kids, gather round for urban myths. Hush now, city kids. But you know, they wouldn't let you have it any other way. Stepping back from what you lack, the past just pulls you back in again. Save me from myself, it just carries on, just carries on.
Good evening, welcome along to NUFC Matters. It is the Fans Forum, and here we are with George, with Darren, Alan, Jeff, Kevin, Magnus and Pablo. Welcome to everybody in the chat as well. First of all, we are going to look back at an entertaining game at St James's Park against Chelsea, a 2-2 draw. Newcastle again surrendering a 2-goal lead, coming away with a point in a game that was probably marred with the most controversy we've seen in a Newcastle game this season so far. Newcastle certainly should have had one penalty, maybe two, but Newcastle again, we saw the Jekyll and Hyde performances that have become almost, our signature this season, which is a bit disappointing. But a 2-2 draw against Chelsea, I think on current form, Newcastle fans may have took that before the game, but just disappointing the way that it balanced out. So we'll get the lads' opinions on that before we look ahead in the second half of the show to Manchester United. So yeah, George, a 2-2 draw, entertaining.
Yeah, but very frustrating. Let's face it. To coin a phrase, a game of two halves. Where have we heard that before? I mean, we should have been out of sight by half time. That first 45 minutes was as good a 45 minutes as we've played this season. We were so much on top, just, running them ragged. And down the right side, Miley and Murphy, M&M, was really sweet because everything they did worked. And every time Miley got the ball to Murphy, it was banging into centre. So you could see it was inevitable that that's where goals were going to come from. And all over the pitch there were people doing good things. I thought Ramsey was in the game, where in other games he hasn't been in the game. He was actually doing really good things. And that was entertaining to see. And everybody was doing their bit. Lewis Hall was on form. We just were, took the game to them, and some of the football was absolutely outstanding. As I say, some of the best possibly the best 45 minutes of consistent football that we've had this season, and some outstanding performances. Like I say, Miley is certainly putting his stamp on the game now. He's the way he was linking up with Murphy, it made that right side so dangerous all the time. And it took pressure off other people because they were doing a thing, and you see the difference when that's happening, the way the midfield works together, and so on. But then that was the first half. The second half, it was inevitable, and having watched Chelsea a few times this season on TV, that this manager there seems to jig things about at half time, and they come out as a different team, and that's exactly what they did. And then when they got that first free kick, and Reece James stepped up to take it, I said to Steve Hasty sitting next to me, well, they're going to get a goal, aren't they? Because there's no way Ramsdale's going to get this. And he never had a chance of getting it because he stood in totally wrong place. James takes the free kicks for England, and you know exactly where he's going to put it. And there was never any attempt to fend that off in any serious way. So goal number one came, and then the pressure was on. And he also changed James in position as well, and started to play him where he does play, and other players were changed. And they just started to take the game off with slowly but surely. We kept coming back, and I have to say, having seen some of the long breakaways we had were first class, but the result was awful. The result was appalling. I mean, it's interesting that the PGMOs, they call them now, gave us 2 apologies. One's unusual. We got 2. But what the hell's 2 apologies? We want the points on the board, not an apology for penalties missed or penalties not given. And the Gordon one, the people in the box who gave that, the VAR people in the box who wouldn't give that, said the Chelsea player was shielding. Well, in my day, that was called bloody obstruction. And if it happened in the middle of the field, you got a free kick. And when he happens in the penalty area, you get a penalty and possibly a sending off. So, shielding something that's come into the game largely through the so-called professionals who are now pundits to try and excuse the things that they've done. Like this business about having to use your arms to jump high to head the ball. That's all professionals sneaking that into the game, which are just totally obnoxious to me as far as I'm concerned. And the other one, the Barnes one, where he clearly his arm was pulled back. There was, it didn't matter what angle you looked at it, and yet no way. So 2 apologies, but no points on the board, and that's doubly frustrating. And then frustrating from our own players as well. The long through ball that the Langer chased and got hold of, if he had just slipped that ball to one side, there were 2 players that the ball was a tap in, and he decided to break then bust the net. Well, he didn't bust the net. He put the ball at the top of the Gallagher stand. Not just bad choices, poor thinking on his part, and something that's irritated me a lot at the moment with Newcastle players is their peripheral vision seems to have disappeared. The number of times, for example, even against Chelsea, when Newcastle players, forwards particularly, when the goalkeeper's got the ball and thinking about what to do with it, I noticed on several occasions that Barnes, Gordon, Voltemada, and 1 or 2 others had their backs to the ball when the goalkeeper straight. I mean, that's a criminal offence when I played. You had to keep your eye on the ball all the time in the hope you're going to break. So, there are lots of good things in it. As I say, that first half was probably the best 45 minutes I've seen this season. But the second half was almost a nightmare. And in the end, we end up scrambling a game that we should have won easily out of sight by half time. And still had chances to win it in the second half. So, yes, it's a point, but it should have been 3 in my view. And very, very frustrating indeed. I'll leave it at that because I could go on forever, but so many things to think about and talk about.
Okay, good stuff, George. Darren, what's your views on the game at the weekend?
It's quite easy, Steve. It's not rocket science. If you're not going to take a chance, you're not going to win. Like George said, we should have been 4-0 up first half. Should have been cruising, and then there wouldn't be complaining about the penalty goal situation second half. The best 45 minutes I've seen us injured as part of this season against Chelsea. Were at it, were on past the ball. Like George said, Miley, he's not even a right back, but what a game he had right back first half. Him and Murphy linked up well. Lewis Hall looked good going forward. Faultless first half. Ashley Williams, I thought he had a good game overall. Then come the second half. Yes, we were told half time do not concede a goal in the first 5 minutes. What happens? Concede a goal in the first 5 minutes, sucker punch. Chelsea tails are up. We're not playing how we played first half because it was just sloppy play. Some bit of that, like Chow slipping there when he scored the second goal. So that you can't blame Chow for that. It's just one of them things. But the referee situation, it's disgusting. If that's anywhere on the pitch, it's a free kick. That referee's got to be dropped for the next game, surely. Because they quit the ban players for violating contact.
VAR have as well, Darren. VAR have been dropped as well.
Yeah, well, so they should be right now in favour because, like I say, they quit this to get players banned and all that. I'm sorry, but it's disgusting because how VAR missed that is beyond me. I was direct in line with it, and how he never gave it, we were shocked. Should have been a penalty, but hurt it wasn't. But second, like I say, like anyhow, Bruno, Ashley, and I don't play midfield Tonali. The last 10, 15 minutes, the free midfield looked knackered. Julian's on the bench, bring him on. I know he got injury, but surely you manage 10, 15 minutes. We needed some little bit more midfield because Bruno was blown up his arse in the last 20 minutes. Those are not inside us. He was knackered. Bruno, he played midweek against Fulham 80 minutes. And Julian didn't get a run. I was surprised in bringing Willock on for the last 3 minutes towards the second half. I just don't understand bringing Willock on for 3 minutes to go. It's crazy, mate. It's a crazy decision. You only get players more time on the pitch. They said at the start of the game you would have took a point, but it hurts when you should be 4-0. Voldemort should have his first senior hat trick. And he doesn't. And Gord should have scored. Should be 4. And we all know in football, 2 goals now, especially now, it's not good enough. And when they score their first goal, be fair, we know we're gonna get a draw, we're gonna get beat. I sensed it. But we're holding on for the draw. But the referee had a howler. But it's a point, but no points in my opinion.
Darren, Mark Byers is in the chat. He says, I haven't been able to watch the fans forum live for a while, he says, but I wanted to get Darren's honest thoughts on Elanga, considering what he thinks of Murphy.
Be fair, Murphy's a better player. Elanga need to train. Elanga need to train with Murphy, and Murphy needs to show Elanga what to do. How to cross the ball, how to run, how to shoot. And he might get better.
I'm going to be a footballer.
I think it's £35 million a trainer up the now. We're seeing it with Elanga because didn't get started with Elanga, to be fair, because he had a chance yesterday, like George said before, he had a chance to square it to somebody else to score. He went for glory to get his name in the headlines, and he flubbed it, didn't he? And like I just feel it is a player in them. You need to release yourself and get it out of them.
Okay, well, there we go. Fair answer to a fair question. Thank you, Mark. Nice to see you back in the live chat. I hope your new job is going well. Alan, a 2-2 draw against Chelsea. Which, I think I said at the top of the show, and Darren's just reiterated it. We would have settled for a point, I think, on current form, especially after the disaster that we had the week before at Sunderland. So to get a 2-2 draw and to start off the game, that was like the old Newcastle, really was. But frustrating, and left Eddie Howe and the coaching staff scratching their heads again.
Yeah. Kind of deny what the two lads have said, George and Darren, to be honest, Steve. It's been like a movie this week, hasn't it, lads? The good, the bad, the ugly. Three performances, it's basically a roller coaster ride. Can only say what the lads have already said. I mean, I was shouting at the TV screen for 2 minutes. My wife turned the TV off because I was effing and blind, saying it was a definite penalty. I was shouting, that's definitely a penalty, and shouting and effing and blinding and thinking, surely VAR. But you see, we're in this, football's in a dangerous position now, lads, because VAR's getting discredited all the time, week after week. You get rid of VAR, go back to the olden days, and then within 2 weeks, people will be saying, we should have VAR back. So where do we go with this? Because the VAR people in the studio should be sacked for that. That was just absolutely outrageous, that. But unfortunately, lads, every other club gets the same decisions from now and then. Every other club will be saying, we get them as well going forward in the future. Performance was absolutely brilliant first half, lads. I thought it was the best, like what lads have said, all season. I couldn't believe it, how well we were playing. And we could have been. Bollamada, Miley had a glorious header that he missed near the end of the first half as well. Everybody was playing, the passing was crisp. It was like back in the day. Was really, really good. All I can say is another 2 drop points, 13 points dropped this season from winning positions or having points. And it starts becoming a mental thing now, lads. The players, can you honestly think when we go 1-0 up, we're going to be safe now? Where 2 years ago when we came fourth, you thought, we're going to win this. Nothing much I can say. I mean, I think with Miley, played brilliantly, but I think there's one of the quotes of Joe Cole during the commentary says, that reminds me of Pablo Maldini, and I'm thinking, oh God, he's played twice at right back, and he's one of the greatest defenders of all time, and I'm thinking, you've got to get real and give yourself a wobble, because we've got 6 or 7 away games, like I've said over the weeks, lads, away from home against the top clubs, and that'll decide, away form will decide where we'll finish this season. But all, Steve, not happy with a point because we should have had 3. The ref decided the game, as far as I'm concerned. Decisions went against the lads, but we played really, really well. For the neutral, it was an absolutely brilliant game to watch if you are a neutral fan. And long may it continue, but Boxing Day, we've got to do that again, haven't we? We've got to play like that. And this is the problem going away from home now. But I'll leave it at that, Stephen. I'll let the lads go on, because I think the other 2 lads, Darren and George, nailed it, really.
Yeah. Pablo, 2-2 draw against Chelsea. What was your views?
I think first and foremost, Merry Christmas, everyone. No one said it as yet. Merry Christmas.
Definitely.
Good effort. Good effort on the jumpers, by the way, lads. Well done.
Please, Navidad. Chelsea game. I'm going to try and be relatively positive. After the week that we experienced the week before, if you'd have said, like I said to Daz last night, if you'd have given me an advancement in the Carabao Cup and a draw against the Chelsea, I think 9 out of 10 Geordies would have said, yeah, go on, then we'll have that. So I think looking at that, I think Chelsea are very much like us. They have been turning up for the big games, but yet letting themselves down, on the road or at varying other teams. So I think we were up against someone in a similar state to us, albeit. I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't watch it live. I listened to it live on TalkSport. I was working and then caught it up after. And to me, the way the first half sounded on TalkSport, it's like we were playing like Brazil in 1970. and that backed it up with what I watched. We were at the very best that Newcastle are. We saw that free-flowing football again, that attacking mindset. And it actually felt like we'd go on, like the guys have mentioned above, that it would be 2-3-4. And I think at that point, I had to go out and do a couple of jobs, and I come back to a completely different story. I think the only thing I'd say is I agree with George in the sense of Ramsdale positioning, probably not the best, but I think the quality of free kick from Reece James, I think it come off the stanchion. you know, and there's not many goalkeepers in the world that probably would have got to that, but I appreciate what he's saying. I think with the way the second half unfolded, credit, before we get on to us, credit's got to be given to Chelsea. Maresca is a good coach. You know, he's been touted for the next Man City job. He is a good coach. Whether Chelsea's the right fit, I don't know. But I think things that highlighted to me in the second half, and I don't really want to regurgitate what the lads have said, is the things like the Elanga not being able to square a ball when it was evident there was two players there. For me, Miley had a fantastic game. The one thing I would say is Miley can be coached, but for me, the João Pedro goal, when you actually break it down, Shah, the partner centre-back to Chow, who unfortunately slipped, Shah's half a square mile away, you know, and centre-backs dovetail each other. So for me, you've got an experienced player in Shah that's nowhere near his partner. Maybe he could have mopped it up. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered. Miley was drawn up the pitch. Miley can be coached, and I appreciate he's doing a fantastic job where he is. The Elanga thing, I put it down to football intelligence. You know, we're at Christmas now. I understand he's a new signing. Football intelligence as a winger, and Kev will tell you, is to look for that square ball. If you can't beat that man and be on goal, you're looking for that square ball. Why he's not chose it, I don't know, but we've seen it time and time again. And we're at Christmas now. I mean, how much grace do we give him? Are we still sat here in a year's time? I mean, ultimately, he's our player. We've got to support him. We've got to see what he can do. But for me, he's just not at the level. A lot of lads can see the talent in him. I can see a physicality in him. I don't see any quality in him. I hope I'm wrong. Like I say about Miley, I don't think he'll make the top level. And lo and behold, he's proving me wrong. Well done to the kid. Absolutely fantastic. That's what I want to see. But I think probably, I mean, what's that phrase? Snatching a victory from the jaws of defeat. I think that's what it felt like after the game. Because when you're 2-0 up against Chelsea, you think, yes, this is it. What a cracking week we've had now. What a comeback from that Sunderland game. But in real terms, it's not disappointing, is it? We've got a draw against Chelsea, but the same problems are repeating. It's like Groundhog Day every week now, certainly in the league. And my biggest fear is, I'll mention it again, we're at Christmas and we're still looking for that little bit of consistency in the league. You know, we're halfway through pretty much now. I personally think that we're probably going to have a league season which sees us just maybe peter out, unless we add in January some fantastic talent that really sparks us. I think realistically we're looking at some cup victories this year and maybe hopefully a deeper run into the Champions League. But I can't see at the minute where we're going to get that consistency that propels us to fourth. Because for me, it's Man City, Arsenal, probably Chelsea, Villa, and then you've got your Man U's and your Liverpools. I can't see how we can break into that this year, lads. I really can't. But I'm here to be proved wrong. And Lewis Miley's proven me wrong in the last few weeks.
Spot on, Pablo.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
I agree with the league performance. I completely agree with you.
It is bizarre, mind though, that we're, you know, even though, you know, I can't really disagree with you on current form. The Premier League is so tight and so different. Anybody's beating anybody. I mean, who would have predicted Crystal Palace playing Leeds and getting houked 4-1? And the daft thing is, Newcastle are literally 6 points off fourth place. And that's, you know, yes, so is a lot of other teams, but you know, it's anybody's Champions League place still at the moment, and all you need is to find that bit of consistency, and that's it. You know, things will change, but yeah, good stuff. Well, good points, well made. Magnus, come to you now.
Yeah, I mean, this is being spoken about as one of the Premier League games of the season, you know, and I wish I would have been one of those people that was watching it from a neutral sort of non-supportive perspective, you know, because it was a thrilling game. It was, you know, the first half. This is what I want to see from them every game of every minute of every game. I think Thomas said it the other day. There seems to be a pattern of us starting games really well and then maybe not kind of being able to push it through. I mean, there were sensations there, and I mean, I'm really proud of Lewis Miley taking on the right back job like that. You know, there's a crisis in defense, and he's taking on a huge job. Being a right back is no joke in Premier League. And he's only 19 years old. Maybe he hasn't even found his right position yet. But I think Joe Coles, I know he said Maldini, Maldini, it's quite a lot to say after 2 games. But we are definitely seeing a huge versatility, and he could definitely be. I can picture him being like Luis Enrique, a player that can play just about anywhere on the pitch. If I have to compare him to anywhere, anybody that he comes to mind. We didn't lose the game, and this is still Chelsea. We need to be winning those games at home, and nobody should take any points of us in St. James's Park.
Agreed.
But I am very disappointed with refereeing in general in England. Highly disappointed because, we are now in Champions League. And how is your experience there? It's a complete different story. They are quick, calm, and collective in making their decisions. And they couldn't even when we scored a legal goal, it took them 3 minutes to confirm it. This is pathetic. And this can't continue. This can't continue. You need to seek help from elsewhere. And I'm sorry to say this is way below par. If this league is going to call itself the best league in the world, then the standards are way off in the refereeing department. And that they had to give us 2 apologies for this. It doesn't help us absolutely nothing. And it really is starting to cost us. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that too much. I'm going to talk about the good things. Miley was fantastic. Walter Mate, I'm glad he's back on the score sheet. He's going to be a sensation for us. I really think that Bruno and Fabian Schär were exhausted. And well done, guys. You've done an amazing job. They needed to come off a little sooner than they did. Upwards and onwards. Man United next. Let's give them hell. My other disappointment, there's no snow in Iceland. Would you believe it? Christmas for me is supposed to be black and white because it's pitch black. There's absolutely no daylight. And it's supposed to be snow. So I need my damn snow. It's rainy and windy over here, and it's pathetic. It's as pathetic as the refereeing in England.
Well said, Magnus. Well said.
Kevin, is already snow in United States, mate?
No, it's 65 degrees Fahrenheit and a bit cloudy, and no, we don't get snow in Georgia. I mean,
I'm gonna say as well, you win by a country mile the best Christmas jumper, mate. Well done. Well done.
You had to get the dust off it, but
go on, mate. Give us your opinion.
I couldn't agree more with everybody that's went before me. I mean, first off, you can't complain at that, can you? The only thing that you really can't complain is the lack of goals, and should have been further ahead and out of sight, really. Miley man of the match, and just generally overall, you put a 19-year-old lad in there right back, and he looks like the lads in other shows have said he's been there for all of his career. But that's the maturity, the football intelligence that he has. And that's the levels that he can get to, but again, he's only 19. So high fair play to the lad, because he's, I think it was a professional Steve where he said, or whoever said it, was he's not going to be like the Aaron Hughes or the Steve Watsons of the world. We can't be that. He's going to have to nail down a place in that centre of midfield, and I completely agree with that, because that's where I see him playing for 10 years at the club, longer probably, who knows. But I mean, basically, the phrase I've used is catalogue of errors in the second half. It was just a catalogue. I mean, you could write, it was like a bloody dictionary, the amount of things that were going wrong in the game. From the player's perspective, mainly the referee, I thought he was petty at half the time. Everything, when they got touched, they fell over. Played the game really well. The game management, what we talk about, getting little fouls here or there. But, it's a top 4 side you're playing against. So they're going to bring a bit of that housery. They're going to bring a bit of that know-how and nous to the game and trying to get something out of it when they're 2-0 down at half time. And I agree with Pablo. Maresca is probably one of the leading candidates of best managers, coaches in the Premier League at the minute, because of just the way he's had to deal with 900 players within a squad. I mean, he's done remarkable work there, which is kudos to him. But the big thing was for me that it's been evident for weeks. We'll go ahead 2-0. Okay, let's push on. Let's not hold on for a victory. But if we again, it leads to their second goal. So if you think about it, there's a massive disconnect between our central midfield 3/4-5, whatever you want to call it, where whoever's in there, in our back 4. There's massive amounts of space. And in the second half, all what they done was ball into the midfield third, flipped it around the corner, and Pedro, Neto were driving in our back 4 in 1v1s, or a 4v4, or whatever, or the overload, or whatever you want to call it. And that was the problem all second half. And that's how they created that for the free kick. Reece James broke the line and got fouled. Debatable or not, but he got fouled to score the free kick. Bruno should never be on the end of that wall for that free kick. I think, yes, the position of Ramsey was not the best. He could have took a yard, take a step over a little bit and challenge Reece James a little bit more to put him where he put it. Again, a brilliant free kick, but again, if he's that good of a player, well, challenge him a little bit more, make the decision for him where to put it as a goalkeeper. Going on to their second goal, and I think, Pablo, you said it, where I can't remember, but we were pressing, keeper got the ball, went long. Shaw was high, but he isolated Chow by himself in a 1v1 against Chow's not slow, but João Pedro's got a bit more pace than him, and you leave him in 1v1, you let the ball bounce, you get the wrong side of him, you slip and he's in. Yes, I understand that Miley doesn't really understand the position and Hall's bombing on, but Fabian Schär should be there a lot, not too far away from him, but not near enough in the stack having a pint or whatever. You know what I mean? He was that far apart, and you don't isolate your other centre half. So that was a weird decision from Fabian Schär. I love Fabian Schär, but sometimes he just drifts and wanders and just thinks and going, I'm going to go score a worldie off this corner. Well, that didn't happen because he puts it into the Gallagher when he takes free kicks and all the rest of it. So, but for me, and then they got the second goal. We responded. The second 45 minutes, the creation was great to see. But the lack of quality with those chances that we created was not the best in the world. And Ilango one, I'm not even going to go touch that with a 10-foot pole, because Pablo's right. As a winger, if you're in a 1v1, you beat him in a 1v1, have a shot at goal, or at the same time, you have to put the ball across into a player in a better area than you. So it's his decision making for me.
Yeah,
the quality's not. It's not the question. It's not the question of his quality. He's got a bit of quality about him. It's just the decision making when he has it.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's trying to run down blind alleys and whip a ball in for somebody who's nobody there, or hits the first man or whatever. He's got a touch like a baby elephant, and it'll just run away from him, and it's annoying to even think of a winger, because I played there, to not beat your man and just whip it in. Jacob Murphy does it very well, but he puts in the areas where there should be somebody there. Wish it would have been perfect on the game against Chelsea, because he would have been in that 6 to 12 yard box area, that range. Baltimore drops off, he's running into it late. But yeah, but the one for me, I'm not seeing jumping on the back of him, bless him, but the Harvey Barnes chance, not his first one, not the volley, because that's a difficult technique with your left peg. That's a difficult one coming over your shoulder. And fair play to him to have a swing at it, and it could have, well, it went anywhere, but it could have went in the back of the net. It would have been the goal of the season if that went in. But the second one, when he got played through, and everybody thought Reece James fouled him, I think he should have hit that first time rather than taking a touch. If you just pivot or swivel your body and swing your right foot into the opposite corner and get a shot on target first time, I think there's a lack of confidence going into the final third to have a shot at goal. I think if it's not 2 yards out with a toe poke, I think we're very reluctant to have shots at goal and create XG and all that nonsense, whatever. But it is what that is within the game. But overall, can't complain with a point, but should have been a lot more. Oh, and by the way, I have my assistant here today. He's joining in, so he's writing all sorts of stuff down. But this is my assistant analysis from that game and all that sort of stuff. So he's
good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, this is your chance now, folks, to experience a whole different angle on Newcastle United, and it's Darren's. It has to be said, Darren's favourite part of the show. But before we come to Jeff, we have one request, Jeff. Where is Rex?
Rex is here. There he is.
Hey, bunny lad.
And just to let you know, everybody.
Hellfire.
He's got his kilt on. Jeff has got his kilt on. There we go. Okay, Jeff.
A quick flash of the kilt there, lads.
Thank you very much, mate. And a bit of comedy from you now, I guess, on Newcastle United's 2-2 draw with Chelsea.
Well, it's attack versus defence, isn't it? It was for one long time. It was attack versus defence. It just looked like one of those exercises. You could have did 5-a-side, really. Nobody's mentioned it. You could hear the fans. Very early on, you could hear the fans. Absolutely drowned everybody else out. I wasn't really impressed with their guys. All these famous players, Netto, named after a supermarket, all these guys like that. And the referees, well, to be honest, Rex, now stop it. I'm going to say that for most of the season so far, I've been quite impressed with the refs letting things go. They've not stopped the game for every little body check and every little bit of physical contact, which has been nice. There's not been too many free kicks and it's flowed very nicely. It's good for the product. But obviously this time it went a bit wrong. And like there seemed to be a committee working, trying to work. How can we stop this happening? They seem to be winning. And it couldn't continue. The second half was really good. I noticed their shorts have a little Russian flag on them, which I know just on the side, a little bit of acknowledgement of their Russian ownership there. And
former Russian owner.
Former Russian owners. At least they don't have those stupid arrows that show them which way around to pull their socks up and stuff, which seems to have appeared everywhere. Or those little price tags on the back of everything. Yes, Miley. Yes, very good, Miley. Now, our left back has to be admonished for losing possession all the time. Somebody's taught him this little kick around the, he swings his foot around the back, some sort of thing, and he kicks the ball sides. And we keep losing possession because he's been trying to be too clever. And he needs a bit of work doing on him. And obviously, Elanga is not the finished product, is he? But you can see why he used him, because we were going for a high press. We were doing all the things we normally do. And it was very good. Yes, and apart from that, I'm going to move on now.
Well done, Jeff. Jeff, yeah, that was probably your most analytical view of a game. And Darren, we didn't really get much from Darren Cam today. So well done, Jeff. Yeah. That was very good.
But I've got the important announcements for later on about
for the second half of the show, of course.
The second half of the show.
I understand. Never do like Newcastle, Jeff.
He's got a religious message to spread, I'm sure, at the end.
Yes. Okay, who the hell is this Noel Gallagher guy? I really don't get this Noel business.
Newcastle United take on Manchester United on Boxing Day. Scunny Mag has sent us his video if you are going to the game.
Hi folks, Scunny Mag Paul here with another away day guide. This one is for our Boxing Day trip to Old Trafford. It's a busy period. I might not be able to squeeze a short one in for Burnley. Steve might struggle to get it onto a show, but I will get one up on my channel. You can find that at Away Day Guides, all one word, on YouTube. But here comes the bit for the Manx. Okay, Manchester United. For those coming in on train, Manchester Piccadilly is the most likely main station you're going to come into. Once you do arrive, you will need to get a bus, tram or taxi up to the stadium. Trams are the easiest option. Closest stop to the stadium is actually Wharfside, but that's only served by the red tram line. Failing that, the other options are the purple or green line up to the Old Trafford tram stop itself. If you're driving in, there's plenty of parking up around the stadium itself. Parking on Salford Quays, just the other side of the dock area, is quite useful, with a quick exit out onto the main arterial routes. And when you are leaving, turn left. It's a straight run out to the M602. If you're looking to stay over, there's lots to choose from, both around the stadium and in the city centre itself. But I've just picked out a couple of, firstly, the Premier Inn up near the stadium, and it's got a bar. That bar, incidentally, is your last one before the stadium area. It's mixed. They've got a queuing system in place. Exists Turkey Pay-In will find you the reception of the hotel area. I've also picked out a budget one in the city called the Crown and Anchor. It's got a lovely little bar underneath. Adults scary today for the what three words. This one's also dead handy for the train station. A bit more about pubs. For those of you that are coming on the train, Piccadilly Tavern. Come out the train station, turn right, head down the footpath, keep going. It's on your right. You can't miss it. Full King's Clip will get you to the front door, and there's loads of pubs dotted around there. There's a Wetherspoons a bit further down. But after that, once you're ready to head up the ground, as you walk down from the station, if you keep the Piccadilly Tavern on your right, keep going. There's a McDonald's. Just past that, there's the tram stop for Market Street. You'll be looking to be on the platform on the same side as the McDonald's, and you're after a green line tram which will take you directly through to the Old Trafford cricket ground. When you do arrive up in the stadium area, if you are coming from the Salford Quays or the Wharfside tram stop, you're going to be coming into the north end of the east stand. Keep the stadium on your right, walk to the other corner. If you're heading in from the Old Trafford cricket ground, as you come off the tram, cross the tram lines, keep the cricket ground on your left and carry on walking straight up that street. As you get to it, that's the corner you want to be at. Your turnstiles are at gate E30, and if you're still struggling to find them, proper sticky mint will get you into the area where all the checks are being done. Thanks for watching. I've been Paul, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you, Scunny Mag. Excellent stuff. And yes, Newcastle travelling to Old Trafford, George. Been a happy hunting ground in recent seasons for us. Watched Manchester United against Villa the other day, though, and they're a slightly different proposition this season than they were, but still not firing on all cylinders. And of course, they've been hit with that injury to their talisman in midfield, of course. So, yeah, Newcastle... away form not being great. What are you expecting from this game, George?
Well, I'll be honest. You probably get sick of hearing me saying, if the right Newcastle turns up, we'll win it. There's no question about that. There's another reason I would want them to win it, of course, because Boxing Day happens to be my bloody birthday. So they've got to bring something home for me. If they play as well as they can, and even half as well as they did in the first half against Chelsea, Manchester United won't be a problem. That's the issue. Can Eddie Howe get them to repeat some of that against Manchester United? And the big plus I've against Manchester United I've noticed is once they go down, their heads go down. They're very got very little resilience. This Manchester United, I don't know where that comes from. I suspect that has a lot to do with the way the manager wants them to play. But I'm looking forward to a good game, an interesting game, but a one which we'll win. And I think we'll win 2-0.
Okay, 2-0 from George. Good evening to Tilly, who's in the chat. We did catch Darren earlier on. Tilly, wrapping your present. I mean, he's had to go out and buy 20 more big things of wrapping paper. So you should be looking forward to that on Christmas Day. Anyway, Darren, Manchester United away. Boxing Day fixture, 8 o'clock at night, mind. I mean, ridiculous really for Newcastle fans. Having to travel down there on Boxing Day. But what's your feelings about this one, Darren? Are you as confident as George?
Holding on confidence. I couldn't get a ticket for Man U, to be fair, to see if I try everybody. Couldn't get a ticket to see if he liked. So I'm not going down to Manchester, unfortunately. But I don't fancy a chance. If like say, George, if it turn up like how we played first half against Chelsea, we've got every chance of beating them. It was always our second half performance all season long. But hopefully the players can play with a bit of aggression in the system, because they should have won that on the weekend. And say, yeah, book our jazz up and gone, show these Mancunian manters and the game and beat them. So Bruno Fernandes is out. That's probably a good thing, but we just need to tear up and play how we know we can play. We'll beat them all day long. Just don't sit too deep. That's our set too. Just play on the front, attack them. But it all depends how Eddie Howe sets them up, who plays. But I fancy 2-1 win.
Oh,
That's what I fancy.
Okay, you're going for a 2-1 win. That's two positive predictions. And yeah, Gary in the chat, you're right. Yeah, they're missing Mbeumo, and Fernandez is definitely out. Kuna, of course, is probably the biggest threat that they're providing. Casemiro, he's had some good games against us, but he's had some absolute stinkers as well, and he is back and available to play. But we did keep Kuna quiet at his previous club, so I am confident about this game. I've got to be honest. I do think we've got a good chance if we can turn up like we did against Chelsea. Yeah, I'm quietly confident of a win. I am going to go for a 2-1 as well. Alan, what's your feelings about this? Because yeah, as we've seen already in Premier League games, anybody literally can beat anybody on the day.
Well, no surprise, Steve. I'm going against everybody here. We've won 4 times in 55 years in my lifetime, Steve, at Old Trafford. Twice in the last 2 or 3 years. George must have had a hell of a lot of bad Boxing Days, because we're the worst team in Boxing Day history on Boxing Day to win a game. So he must have had quite a lot of bad games on Boxing Day.
Enjoy watch. We're beating the Mackhams on Boxing Day, I can tell you that.
True. Everything goes that we've got a chance down there, Steve, but no, we won't turn up, Steve, like we usually do. I think Man U will beat with 3-1.
I love it when Alan.
Such negative.
I love it when Alan gets negative, because we usually end up in a position where we get it. It's Alan Thompson's School of Reverse Psychology. That's what it is. Pablo.
I've got a quick one for you. I saw something on Facebook this week, the Bible football. It suggested that you are a sick man if you took any pleasure in Alexander Isak getting injured. And I looked at it for a minute, and then I made my GP appointment for this week.
I see Simon Jordan's getting a bit of stick for what he said as well.
I'm backing off that.
I was so upset when he broke his leg. I was emotional. I really was. It's so.
Anyway, he's not our problem anymore. So
he's not our problem. And I tell you another one that's not our problem, Sesko. We were making big noises about him, and he's fallen flat on his arse, hasn't he? But yeah, the Boxing Day, how good it is to have a game on Boxing Day as well. I look forward to that, and I'm glad that it's us that are taking the mantle for that. I mean, the good news is it's not going to rain, so the Old Trafford roof will hopefully hold up a little bit longer, and the rats will be kept at bay. Boxing Day as well, I'm hoping that all the local support from Helsinki, Gothenburg and Oslo don't make it to Old Trafford, and hopefully the M25 will be covered in snow. But no, being serious about the game, I think I'm going to go for a sneaky... Do you know what? Sod it. Let's go for a 3-2 win. And I say that because Bruno Fernandes isn't playing is a positive for us. He's one of them annoying little itches that if he plays for your football club, you adore him. But for every other football club, you just want to kill him. I think so. For him not playing as a positive, I think you're right about the Casemiro situation. If we have energy levels in midfield that are at our very top, then I see us overrunning their midfield. And we have done it before where we've completely overrun them in midfield. And we've got, I think one of the cup games stands out to me where Casemiro had a thinker. And I think if we play with that notion and we play with the tempo that we did in the first half against Chelsea, I don't see, like one of the lads have said before, if we get our noses in front of Man U, I can't see them coming back from it. So I'm going to, do you know what? Let's go for a thriller. Let's go for a 3-2 win. And hopefully we'll have something to cheer about on Boxing Day night.
Okay, yeah, I can see why you would say that. Some, goals galore in this game potentially, but equally, I can see it being a 0-0 draw. I think somebody said that. Rob Maltman, our designer in the chat, said, "Yeah, 0-0 draw at Man United could be a real boring one." Yeah, it's where it is with the Premier League at this moment in time. Magnus, you have got the dog to help you.
I wanted this little man, since they were having a pet day at the office. He wants to say hello. His name is Glacier, actually, if I translate it.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Anyway, with regards to Man United, I have been, I've had great times. I always look forward to this game. I've had great times watching this game through the past, and I have a lot of Man United fans as friends. Unfortunately, no. No, they are good people.
They're not, Magnus, they're not.
No, exactly. Are they really my friends? That's the question. Maybe not anymore. I am still having I think we've had the overhand over Man United for the last few times, and I am feeling pretty strong after that performance. And the last few performances, if we just take out the Sunderland one. I still feel like we are getting there, regardless of what anybody says. I think we're getting there, and maybe we need to buy a couple of players in January, but we'll get into that later. I am feeling a penman 3-1 to us at Old Trafford. That's how I feel. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Mike. Well
I do like it when Magnus is on the drink and his hair it goes like a former German leader in the 1940s. I don't think I need to say he's like a Viking. Yes. I don't think. Well, he was
I prefer the Orson Welles. Yeah.
Orson Welles. Yeah. Okay, Kev. Man United on Boxing Day. What's your feelings and what's your prediction?
Looking forward to it. The Boxing Day fixture has a special place in everybody's heart, even though it's the one we're the only one for some reason, which is very interesting. But it is what it is. It's the Premier League. I guess they can do what they want because they do. It is, So, but it's a 3 o'clock kickoff for me, so that's early afternoon. So, hey, I'm quite happy with that. little eye in, and after the Christmas Day shenanigans, whatever. But no, it's one of those ones when you go to Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams, the whole and that, that narrative and all that nonsense. What team's going to show up? I've just jotted down their shape versus our shape. It's going to be 10 1v1s outside the goalkeeper. So if you win the individual battle against their front three, back three, midfield four, we'll win the game. And that's what it'll boil down to. Win your individual battle, win your one-to-ones. I think we'll hopefully play the same way like we did against Chelsea, where we pushed high, we'll play it high, we'll press. I don't think they have the capability to get out of it to play, because I watched them against Villa, and Villa done pretty much exactly that, and ultimately won the game. But Boxing Day game, you never know. Could be a pantomime, it could be a Pablo, it could be 3-2, 4, 6-0. It could be anything. You never know. But I'm going to go with a dramatic end-to-end 1-0. Has, by the way, what do you got, son?
Well, ultimately, it just comes down to who wants the game.
No,
It just comes down to who wants the game more. Plus Bruno not being there, Mbeumo, Manu. But that's going to be a major effect for Man United. That's going to give us a great win of 3-1 at Old Trafford on Boxing Day.
He's got the job. He's got the job, Kev. He's a natural.
American accent. That's a good man.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you. It's like the commentating duo there. Well done, lads. Okay, Jeff, we will come to you for your prediction for Manchester United and presumably some kind of Christmas message from you, Jeff.
Well, yes, Christmas message is very important. Man U, 3-0. One of these days I'm going to be right and frighten myself, because it's only a rodent sanctuary with an integrated canal network. I'm not intimidated at all. So what I was thinking about is gifts for people. Remember to get people K-Tel carols for the deaf. And some of the Boxing Day fixtures you might look out for. Papal Librarians are playing the Nuki. Saddleworth Rovers are having their old match against the Rampton Old Boys. And Boxing Day, we've got boxing. True Geordie is taking on Adam P on Netflix. Right. And it was good to see our old friend Mandy, Lord Mandy of Mandelston, of Middlesbrough, strangely enough, which is always looked like the Luftwaffe has just left to me. and the only way out of it is by canoe, apparently. And I would, yes, I would like to. I would like just one. I'll tell you one little adventure I've had. Right, just my Christmas present to various people. Some people have heard of a company called Every, who throw parcels away in other people's bins.
Yes.
They did the same to me, strangely enough. So I went online onto X and circulated the home address, personal phone number, and all the other details of the CEOs in Holland. So he's going to have a happy Christmas because his personal phone number, and plus all the other stuff that you find out if you know how to work these things. So that'll have made his Christmas. So that's my little present to him. And just to remind everybody, I'm sorry I was sort of not up with the speed of the thing happening today, because I have been banned from Facebook 3 times now, and I have not been able to prove that I'm human. But I even got taken off X for what I did to the EV company, but I managed to persuade them I was human again. I got back on. It's don't forget, it's you probably missed out if you didn't. You should have sacrificed a goat, and if one wasn't available, a small child would have done on the solstice. And the one thing I would say, in the words of Jimmy Savile, let us pray.
And that's Jeff's taxi just arriving now. People with the white coats are getting out. Yes, you never know what you're going to get from Jeff. I have to reiterate that it's not NUFC Matters' views. They're all entirely Jeff's views. And don't worry, Tilly, you're not the only one who's confused. Anyway, we will be back next Monday to look back on the Manchester United game and look ahead to Burnley on the Fans Forum. But all that remains is for us to wish everybody who follows the Fans Forum on a religious basis. Thank you very much for watching us for this 2025, and have a happy Christmas,
whoever he is.
Yes,
thanks to all the moderators. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And let's wish a big happy birthday, to George on Boxing Day as well.
Happy birthday, George.
Thank you. 85 and progressing.
Great stuff. See you next Monday, guys. Take care. Enjoy your Christmas. A big thanks to our sponsors, Skips and Bins. You can find them at their website, skipsandbins.com. Contact them, www.skipsandbins.com/contact. Say hello to low-cost waste disposal with pay-as-you-go and contract waste management. A big thanks to Mr. Vicky's Sauces, handmade in Cumbria. Their website, mrvickies.co.uk. Email info@mrvickies.co.uk. Telephone 01768 210 102. Thanks to our fanzine sponsor, United Group Travel. They've just announced their 2026 tours. 2 crew, driver and courier, local family company, 3-star plus quality hotels, no interchanges, hot, cold snacks and drinks available on the coach, all excursions included. Website is unitedgrouptravel.com. Email beverly.ugtl@gmail.com. Telephone 01670 632 460 or mobile 0791 666 4174. It's just £30 per person deposit. There are no strangers on our tours, just friends you haven't met yet. If you enjoy listening to the podcast, you can try us on Sports Social, and that is Sports Social Podcast Network. You can also catch us on iTunes or Spotify or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. Big thanks as well to Media Art for all the technical side of things. If you want to become a member, you can join as a YouTube member by hitting the join button underneath the video. Don't forget as well, subscribe to the channel. It's free. We still do 7 shows a week. Hit the like button, which is the thumb up, and share it to your other social media. If you'd like a badge, a pen, a key ring, and a coaster and a membership card, then you just need to go to our website, nufcmatterspodcast.co.uk, and you can become a member of NUFC Matters via the link on our website. Got a couple of events to tell you about. Beardsley, Waddle and Gascoigne are together at the Tyne Theatre and Opera House. That is the 13th of February 2026. Gibbo is comparing. You can get your tickets from the box office at the theatre or give them a ring on 0191 243 1171. In January, Supermac and Gibbo are teaming up together at the Tyneside Irish Centre to raise money for the North Tyneside Age UK Dementia sector. And your tickets are £19 from voucher, or you can buy them direct from the website, nufcmatterspodcast.co.uk. Peter Beardsley will be with Joe Allen on the 30th of January, again for Age UK North Tyneside Dementia. And tickets are available for £29 on voucher or from nufcmatterspodcast.co.uk. We're also raising money for Age UK North Tyneside Dementia with another Blake 7 convention, Saturday the 1st of August, 10 till 4. Tickets are £20 for standard, £75 for VIP, and you can get them again from our website. And a couple of stocking fillers for Christmas. The Entertainers by Will Scott. We've got 10 copies signed by Warren Barton, again from the website. My book, The Promoter and the Photographer, written by myself and Andy Thompson. All proceeds going to the dementia sector of Age UK North Tyneside. You can get them again from www.nufcmatters.co.uk.